Today we are going to be breaking down. What is up, everyone? Today we are going to be breaking down one of my draft crushes, and will probably go in the top 10 this year, Devon Witherspoon. What is up, everyone? Today we are going to be breaking down one of my draft crushes, and will probably go in the top 10 this year, Devon Witherspoon. Rated as the number one cornerback, and we're going to get into his strengths and weaknesses, and also stay around for the end of the video because I have some streaming announcements for my channel and what I'll be doing this week. So stick around for that. But let's get to his strengths and weaknesses. You know, a big strength with him is he was on the number one scoring defenses in the nation. Obviously, I'm talking about cornerback from Illinois, Devon Witherspoon. He was on the number one scoring defenses in the nation in Illinois. They were a top 3 defense in the nation, but they were number 1 in scoring, and he was the best player on that defense. So that's got to tell you something. Also won Big Ten Player of the Year, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year for Illinois as well. So Devon Witherspoon, great in those aspects. Also 17 passes defensed. Started I believe 2 full seasons, 3 full seasons, 17 passes defensed, 3 interceptions, 41 tackles, and the real stat that stands out to me is he allowed a 34.9% completion rate, which is really good. That means, every time you're targeted, you're allowing 1 out of 3 passes to get completed, which is great at a college level. So that's one thing. Really, the thing that he is best at is he's best at playing from zone, where a lot of times when you're a cornerback and you're playing from zone on that defense, basically all you have to do, a lot of times zone will be padded, and so you're not press man up on the receiver. You're padded back in coverage, and you're allowed to react to the play a lot more because you're not having to cover as much. And so he's best at that, because a lot of things that I see from him on tape is he plays a little bit of a padded defense. So he plays 5 yards off of the receiver when he's guarding him, and he's good at really reading the play from a little bit farther away, and he has very good closing speed. And so when the receiver, let's say, runs a slant, he's good at staying over the top, staying patient on that receiver, not getting in front of the receiver on the slant route, and not holding the receiver, but staying on top of the receiver and breaking up the pass. So very good at that on that as well. And so I think closing speed's really an important thing when you're talking about Devon Witherspoon and what he can do as a cornerback in the NFL. Another thing that I think he kind of has a little bit of safety traits to him, because a lot of times, I think this is why I think a lot of NFL teams will convert him maybe to nickel cornerback, because this guy is very good at just closing speed, obviously, like I said before, but is very fast and could wreak havoc in the backfield in the next level. And he's a hard hitter as well. And that's something that you need in the NFL. He's a very physical guy. You're talking about, I'll bring up a play, versus Minnesota, first quarter, 8 minutes, 49 seconds left to go, 2nd and 6. And Minnesota runs a screen, and you just see Devon Witherspoon. The Minnesota receiver doesn't even get 3 yards down the field off of that screen, and Devon Witherspoon just pops him. So especially on screens, if you leave this guy unblocked, he is going to pop your receiver and just absolutely give him hell. So he kind of has safety traits in that way. He's a very hard hitter, very physical cornerback. Let's get to a little bit of his weaknesses, though. I know, me personally, I'm a Niners fan, and the 49ers look for guys who are good in the classroom. Well, this guy obviously, wasn't that highly recruited out of high school because of his grades. The interesting thing is he actually went to Hutchinson Community College, I think his first year in college, and then he transferred to Illinois. So he had the talent to go to the NFL out of college, out of high school. But the reason why he didn't get highly recruited was because he wasn't a that good student in the classroom. And so that's something that I know it's not a super, it's something that can be overlooked, but it's not, it's something that teams look for in an NFL player. So definitely not that great in the classroom. Another thing, definitely, I know he said I said he has fast closing speed, so he delivers hard hits. Once he gets honed in on a ball carrier, it's over for that ball carrier because he's so fast. He has so good closing speed that it's incredible. But as far as like coverage down the field, if you put him in a press man-to-man situation, it's a different story. So I think against faster receivers like Cooper Kupp, maybe Tyreek Hill, I don't think he's that good of a corner or that speedy of a corner to cover those type of receivers. So that's where I think at the second level you might need like a safety over the top. And that's why I think I said before he's good at playing in a zone scheme because he's maybe not as fast in man-to-man press coverage at the next level. So you might need to either transfer him to safety or just keep him in a zone scheme because I could see where he would get burned in a man-to-man scheme or press man-to-man scheme. So obviously that's a thing as well. But I would like to say that this guy has great measurables. He's 6 foot, which is 6 foot 180, which is almost perfect if you're a corner. I think if you're an NFL team, you want him to bulk up a little bit. He's only 180 pounds, but 6 foot is a perfect height for a corner, especially outside corner. I know in this draft, there are a lot of corners that are 5'11", smaller cornerbacks. And so there's not a ton of outside. There's a lot of nickelback corners in this year's draft. But this is a guy that could play outside corner for you and play it at a very high level. So there are things this guy does well. Just to quickly recap. Hard hitter. Once he gets honed in on a ball carrier, it's over for you. He has great closing speed. On slant routes, I've seen just very patient, stays over the top of the receiver, and has great anticipation. And so that can help as well. And then some weaknesses. Maybe not as fast in press man-to-man coverage that you would like at the next level. And so that's where that could get him in trouble a little bit. Not a great man defender as well. But again, this guy is a great cornerback, has great instincts. And so if you want a guy who is a playmaker, who can break up passes, and if he is man-to-man down the field, I did see him versus Wyoming, where it was the second quarter, 7 minutes left in the second quarter, and he was going man-to-man downfield versus this Wyoming receiver, and he puts one hand on the receiver, looks back at the quarterback, it's 30 yards downfield, and catches the ball and tracks the ball perfectly. Interception, goes up there, high points the ball, interception. So there are plays where I just go, wow, like this player is a generational talent because he has good ball skills down the field. So that could be something. Now, he did missed the NFL Combine because of his hamstring issue. Also missed the Illinois Pro Day because of his hamstring issue. So that's something to look out for, dealing with an injury. So we don't really have an official 40-yard dash. A lot of scouts say he's slightly slower than most cornerbacks in this draft. But again, a lot of tangibles there as well. Has just great athleticism there as well. So that's my reactions or draft crush. I think he's going to go the first cornerback off the draft. That's my draft crush right there. Devon Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois, everyone. But go check him out. I'll be probably doing 15 of these draft crush episodes, so watch out for that. And then this week on Tuesday, I'll be sitting down with Country Kev from 4-Man Rush podcast. He's a Panthers fan. We'll be discussing first overall pick, who they will draft there. And then on Wednesday, I'll be going live with Pete Lucas from the Niner Fanatic podcast, and that should be a lot of fun because we'll be talking draft prospects there as well for your Niners. So, guys, have a very good day. This has been a lot of fun, and we'll see you again soon. Peace out, everyone.